Hello aspirants, welcome to Vishnu IAS Academy. Hope you are all doing well. Your preparation is also going well. Today, I have come up with a new idea of discussing UPSC previous year preliminary questions topic wise. Okay, so based on that, I have taken the subject of polity, and in that polity, we are going to discuss the questions related to the topic of fundamental rights exclusively, which is very, very important and also vast in one of the vast subjects in polity. Okay, so on this note, we'll see the question over here. First question: which of the following categories of the fundamental rights incorporates protection against untouchability as a form of discrimination? Okay, so there is one fundamental right embedded in our constitution which will give protection to those people who are offended with the illegal and the most sinful practice of untouchability. Okay, so the options given are right against exploitation, right to freedom, right to constitutional remedies, and right to equality are the options provided here. Okay, now let's see the explanation and thereafter you'll get a clarity on what the answer is. Okay, first, fundamental rights. Generally, these are very, very, very important rights which, denote the principle of democracy, which denote the democratic nature of our constitution. So, they play a very, very important role, okay, in our constitution by giving certain rights to the individuals of its country, thereby standing to the principle which it says that yes, constitution is for the people. Okay, so among that, fundamental rights, they play a very, very important role. Okay, these fundamental rights are seen in part 3 of the mentioned in part 3 of the constitution. Okay, there will be several parts in the constitution, and in that, part 3 of the constitution deals with the fundamental rights. Remember this. Okay, and this constitution, it provides 6 fundamental rights. How many rights, fundamental rights are there in our constitution? Means you have to say that 6 fundamental rights are present in the constitution. Initially, there used to be 7 fundamental rights, but later on, right to property, which has been previously a fundamental right in the constitution, has been deleted from the fundamental right. Okay, so that's why now only 6 fundamental rights are seen present in the constitution, which are guaranteed by the constitution itself and are safeguarded by none other than the highest judiciary of our India, that is Supreme Court. Okay, that is the extent of the importance given to this fundamental rights. So what are the 6 fundamental rights? First one is right to equality, right to freedom. Okay, equality, very, very important. And next, giving freedom to any person is also next prioritized fundamental right. First of all, giving equality to every person. Okay, next, giving them the freedom. And then right against exploitation. Okay, protecting all the people from exploitation by others. Right to freedom of religion. Okay, giving freedom to every person in our country to practice whatever the religion they're comfortable with. And cultural and educational rights. Very, very important one. Okay, protecting the cultures as well as providing education for each and every citizen of our country. And right to constitutional remedies. So every person is accessible to whatever the constitutional remedies that has been provided by the constitution. This is also very, very important, significant fundamental right. Okay, these are the 6 fundamental rights that are currently guaranteed to each and every citizen of our nation, and some among these fundamental rights are guaranteed even to the non-citizens of India also. Okay, we'll be discussing about this in detailed manner in one of the classes. Okay, for now, this briefing is enough for you. Okay, these are the fundamental rights. And next, so now coming to one of the significant fundamental rights. First fundamental right, which is said to be right to equality. Okay, this right to equality fundamental right has been embedded from articles 14 to 18. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. These 5 articles constitute the principle of right to equality. Okay, so if we see each of these articles related to right to equality, Article 14 ensures equality before law and equal protection of laws. It states that every person dwelling in the country is equal before the law, including the President of India, given certain conditions of protection for them also, okay, because of that chair. Okay, but simultaneously every person dwelling in the country is equal before law, and also there will be equal protection of laws that have been embedded in the Parliament, okay, not that have been made by the Parliament. Okay, next, Article 15. What does it say? It says that this article, it will be prohibiting discrimination on the grounds of, Article 15 says that it will be prohibiting discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth only. You have to underline the term only over here. A person should not be discriminated based on these principles only. Principles of religion, okay, based on his race, based on his or her caste, based on his or her sex, and finally based on his place of birth. Any person should not be discriminated upon. Okay, if this happens, you know, they will be liable to the punishment imposed by the court of law. Okay, only these 5. Next, Article 16. This is also right to equality. What equality does it guarantee? It says that it ensures equality of opportunities in public employment. Every person will be having equal opportunity for securing any of the jobs which he requires, especially in the public sector only, not in the private sector. Okay, do keep this in mind. Public employment, but not in private employment. Next, what is the equality guaranteed under Article 17? It says that it will be abolishing untouchability and also forbids its practice in any form. Hence, it falls under the principle of right to equality. Here also it says that all persons are equal, and hence nobody should practice this evil system of untouchability which used to prevail before independence in our country. Okay, so as a result, it says that all persons of the India are equal. Clear? And now Article 18. What does this say? How does this guarantee equality? It will be abolishing titles except for military or academic distinctions. Okay, except for the military and educational, okay, academic or educational distinctions. Remaining all the titles are deemed to be abolished according to Article 18, thereby saying that yes, everyone is equal. Okay, as these are the own sweat and blood of any person, they said that yes, these are valid, but the remaining titles will be abolished, because some of the titles have been given by Britishers to some Rajas, Maharajas, and also to some of the persons who are favoring them. Okay, so such titles are all abolished, and only military and academic titles were upheld by the independent India, thereby guaranteeing equality to all the citizens. Clear? Right. And now, finally, we can say that the right to equality has been declared by the Supreme Court as a basic feature of the Constitution. Remember this term, basic feature of the Constitution, and any treatment of equals unequally or unequally as equals will be a violation of the basic structure of the India's Constitution. Okay? So finally, the Supreme Court, it came up and it said that yes, right to equality is very, very important, such that it has put this in the category of basic structure of the Constitution. Generally, the basic structure of the Constitution is meant to be very stable, and nobody is allowed to disturb the basic structure or the foundation of the Constitution, such that it will enable the stability of the whole Constitution on which it stands. Okay, so Supreme Court has given certain, Supreme Court has given certain criteria or certain articles in the constitution to be described or to be labeled as the basic structure of the constitution, and one among them is the right to equality. That means it is very, very significant feature of the Indian constitution, significant article of the Indian constitution. Hope you understood this. So if we go back to the question, what is the answer over here? What do you think is the answer over here? So which of the following categories of the fundamental rights incorporates protection against untouchability as a form of discrimination? Is nothing but right to equality. This is the correct answer. Hope you understood. Okay. Now, next question. Under which of the following articles of the Constitution of India has the Supreme Court placed right to privacy? Another important question is, Supreme Court has placed a certain article of the Constitution under right to privacy. So now the question asks, what is the number of that particular article? Is all the question that has been posed over here. What are the options given? Article 15, 16, 19 and 21. Okay, for that you should be aware of right to privacy, isn't it? This is the main theme of the question. So now if we see what is right to privacy, let's see. Right to privacy is also a very, very important fundamental rights, okay, which will fall under Article 21. Remember this, right to privacy falls under Article 21. This Article 21 is also very, very significant among the fundamental rights because it is having a very wide scope. And that wide scope has also been given by the Supreme Court through various cases filed and also through its various judgments. Okay, so we'll see what those are in detail. So, which truly upholds the democratic nature of our constitution. Article 22, you know, this will hold the democratic principle of our constitution. That is the extent to which it is important. Now let's see what does this article states. This article states that no person shall be deprived of his or her personal liberty, very, very important, personal liberty, except according to the procedure established by the law. No person should be deprived of his or her personal liberty except by any of the law that has been made by the Parliament only. Other than that, none of us is authorized to steal or take away the personal liberty of any of the persons in this whole country. Okay, this article is applicable not only to the citizens of India but also to the non-citizens of India also. Very important point to be noted over here. Okay, and yeah, applicable to both citizens and non-citizens. Remember this also. And finally, these are some of the areas under which come under Article 21. Okay, so let's see some of them. This includes right to live with human dignity. Every person will be given the right to live with their own dignity. You are not supposed to hurt the dignity of any person, not to insult them. Okay. And next, right to privacy. Every person will be having their own right to privacy. We are not supposed to disturb it. Okay, or nor we are not supposed to interfere in it. Okay, and right to shelter. Okay, and right to health, and also right to free education up to 14 years of age. Right to die with dignity. Even this is also the right given by our constitution. Right to decent and pollution-free environment, etc. Because this Article 21 includes in itself nearly 38 rights into it. How many rights? 38, nearly 38 rights are included under Article 21, of which some have been given over here. Okay, and now if we see next, there are many cases that have been involved in expanding the ambit of Article 21 because this is one of the largest fundamental rights. found in our constitution. Okay, so among them the most important cases are over here. First of all, first one is A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras. Okay, so what did Supreme Court declare through this case is that, see, in this case, the Supreme Court held that the protection under Article 21 is available only against arbitrary executive action but not against arbitrary legislative action. Article 21, as I told you, it will be having under it nearly 38 rights, isn't that so? All those 38 rights, yes, they'll be given protection, but only against the arbitrary action of the executive wing of the government, but not executive wing of the parliament, but not on the arbitrary actions of the law. Okay, so what are arbitrary actions actually? Those are the actions taken without any legal authority, without any justifying. Okay, all the laws or the actions taken by some people or the government or the departments without justifying or unfairly. Okay, those are the articles that are said to be, those are the actions or the deeds are said to be arbitrary actions. Okay, only the legislative bodies which take these arbitrary actions are provided before the court, but not the arbitrary laws. Okay, this is the observation made by the Supreme Court in this particular case of A.K. Gopalan versus State of Madras. Okay, now coming to next, Maneka Gandhi case. This is also very important. This is also very important. Here, the Supreme Court will be reversing its decision which it has taken in this particular case, saying that, see, the SC reversed its judgment of its Gopalan case by ruling that personal liberty of a person can be deprived by the law that is only reasonable and just, conforming to the natural justice principle. In Maneka Gandhi case, it will be reversing by saying that yes, the rights relating to personal liberty of any person, okay, can be deprived by the laws made by the parliament, given the condition that those laws made are justified, okay, and also are in align with the natural justice of a nation. Okay, generally all the laws will be made only in align with the natural justice. No law will go against any person's will, isn't that so? We are very clear about it. Okay, and the Supreme Court has also said the same ruling that yes, it has very clear-cutly given the condition that the laws which are made by the parliament should be just, they should be fair, and also should be aligned to the principle of natural justice. Okay, and now coming to very important case, K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India. This is a very, very important case which has given the right to privacy under Article 21. Okay, Puttaswamy, he is a justice of Karnataka High Court who will be filing a case against Aadhaar. Okay, Aadhaar project before it has been legalized by the government of India, citing that yes, Aadhaar will be depriving the privacy of all the Indian citizens by collecting their personal data, okay, including their biometrics. And he questions what about the security of all the data collected by the individuals, collected from the individuals of India. What about their security? What about their protection is the question that has been raised by Justice Puttaswamy. Okay, so after observing this, the Supreme Court, it has said that yes, every person is liable to have a right to privacy. Okay, so that's why we can say that in this case, the Supreme Court held that right to privacy is protected under Article 21. Okay, and also said that it is an integral part of this particular article. So that means if we feel that our right to privacy is being violated by any of the executive or the parliamentary laws, okay, made by the government, we can approach the Supreme Court. Is the theory, is the ruling of Supreme Court over here. Clear? And in this case, the Aadhaar project was challenged, as I told you. when this scheme didn't come, this case has been filed when the Aadhaar project has not been come under the umbrella of legalization by the Parliament. Later in 2016, Aadhaar scheme has been legalized by the Parliament of India, of course, we know it. And he says that, he said that it violated the fundamental rights, that is, what fundamental right? Right to privacy of every citizen, because he is worried about the protection of all the data, and that to the sensitive data collected by every citizen of the country by the Aadhaar department. Because that time, as it was not legalized, of course, we'll be scared of, right? Third parties will be collecting, in fact, our details. So based on that, he is the person. This is a very, very important case. Clear? So based on this, what will be the answer? Is it Article 15, 16, 19 or 21? Means the answer is 21. The right to privacy will be, the correct answer over here is Article 21. Right to answer is D. Article 21 is the answer. Hope you benefit out of this session, and if you are having any doubts and if you want any kind of suggestions, okay, and whatever your demands are, please do not forget to put them in your comment in the comment box, so that we'll be aligning with that. Okay, so I hope, and on this note, I'm wrapping up. All the best. Bye.